Hello, Year 2 students. Greetings to you all. You're welcome to our science lesson for today. For this lesson, we are going to need our learner's books, our pencils, erasers, skill builder, and challenge books. Okay? For our science class of today, we'll be needing our learner's books, our skill builder, our challenge books, and pencils and erasers. Our learning objectives of our lesson today is learners will be able to identify shadows, use simple information sources, identify simple patterns and associations, review and explain what happened, use first-hand experience by making puppets. Okay? For educational videos for kids, we can visit Dr. Binock's show. Okay. Okay, let's go to our learner's books, page 44. Page 44, activity 4.4a, making animal shadows. Making animal shadows. Okay, you can try to make some of these shapes you see in the book. Making different kinds of animals. Okay, see some shapes. You can try making these animal shapes with your hands as well, or animal shadows. Okay, so we have a couple of animal shadows. Let's go on to see them. So this is a snail made with hands. So this is a hand shadow that has produced a snail. Can you see the snail here? The hand was able to make a shadow. So you can try making a snail with your hands. This is a panther. You can as well try making the hand shadow to produce a panther. We also have a hand shadow of a dog. Can you see that? So can you tell us what this looks like? What do you think this shadow here looks like? What does this hand shadow look like? Okay, think about it. We have a hand shadow of a turkey. A hand shadow of a turkey. Can you see that? And another of a goose. Another hand shadow here of a goose. We have another hand shadow of a bird. Wow. Can you try making a bird with your hands? And we have a cardinal. A hand shadow of a cardinal. We also have a hand shadow of a rabbit. A hand shadow of a rabbit. And another of a kangaroo. Can you see the hand shadow of a kangaroo? Okay, so you can go on to try making hand shadows following these directions. Now let's open to our learner's books, page 45. Page 45 of our learner's books. Making shadow puppets. Activity 4.4, making shadow puppets. Now let's read together. Sarah and Nazreen are making shadow puppets. Try making your own shadow puppets. Tell others how the shadow is made. Now to make a shadow puppet, you need a card, you need a scissors, you need a glue, and you need a light source. Okay, to make your own shadow puppets, you need a card, you need a scissors, a glue, and a light source. Okay, let's open to our challenge books, page 27. Our challenge books, page 27. Shadow shapes. Remember, we are studying about shadow shapes. So, shadow finger puppets. To make a shadow finger puppet, we are going to need a card, a scissors, a glue, and a light source. Make some shadow finger puppets and make up a story for the shadows. So make your own shadow finger puppets and come up with a story for the shadows. Okay, number 2 says, in the story you're going to make, move the puppet so that their shadows change shape or size. Take note, when making shadows, the shape of your shadow can change depending on the position of your light source. Meaning, if you change the position of your light source, it can also change the shape of your shadow. Okay, now let's look at number 3 here. They say, think about it. When an airplane flies low, you might see its shadow rays across the ground. What shape will the shadow be? So there is a line provided below here. We are expected to draw the shadow of the plane when it flies low on the ground. Okay, so we have to draw on this line the shadow of an airplane that is flying low on the ground. Okay, now let's look at our skill builder books, page 28. Skill builder books, page 28. Shadow show. Shadow show. Okay, the instruction says, look at the shadow shapes. What can you see? What can you see in this box that has shadow shapes? They've done the first one, a girl. A girl. So we have this, they've already written about a girl. So they've written, they can see a girl. Now, can you go ahead and do number 2 to 8 of what you can see in the picture? Okay. Okay, now let's move to our Skill Builders page 29. Skill Builders page 29. To complete the activity on this page, we are being told you will need a touch and some different objects. Okay, the same object, take note, can make different shadows. The same object, for example, we have a shoe here, can make different shadows. Now we have the first instruction, number 1. They say shine the torch onto an object to make its shadow. Shine the torch onto an object to make its shadow. Number 2 says draw the shape of the shadow. Draw the shape of the shadow. Number 3 says now turn the object, draw the new shape of the shadow. And number 4 says, do the same for the other objects. So we have a shoe, we have a book, and we have a bird. The one for the example of the shoe has been shown to you. When you turn the shoe sidewards, it gives this image. Okay, and when you turn it facing the front, it gives you another image. So can you do for the book and for the bird? Try for the book. Maybe you can put it down, or you can turn it by the side and then turn the book again afterwards and try to draw the shape that it gives you, and do the same for the bird. Now back to our learners' books. Which of these are light sources? Look at all of this. We have a moon, we have the sun, we have a torch, we have a cupcake, and we have a candle. Which of these are light sources? Question 2 here says, Drisha has lost her ball. Question A says, why can't she find the ball? Why can't she find it? So why do you think Trisha can't find the ball? And B says, what could she use to help her to find the ball? Okay, number 3. So you have to go ahead and complete this activity. What is wrong with these shadows? Look at the first shadow of a bicycle. Is the shadow okay? Look at the second shadow of the girl. Is it okay? And then the shadow of the tree. What is wrong with these shadows? So you can go ahead and write your answer by the side of your book. Okay, question 4 says, Lucas has made a puppet. How can he make a shadow with his puppet? How can Lucas make a shadow with his puppet? Okay, page 45 of our learners' books. Page 45 of our learners' books. Still about making shadow puppets. Okay, Sarah and Nazreen are making shadow puppets. Try making your own shadow puppets. Tell others how the shadow is made. So try making your own shadow puppets and you tell others how a shadow is made. Remember what you need: a card, a scissors, a glue, a light source, and maybe a screen if you have one. Okay? So, in this lesson, shadows can look different to the object that makes them. Take note of that. Shadows have no details. Remember, they are always dark. Okay, so we are going to go on to answer some questions here. Question 1 says, when something blocks out the light or the sunlight, what happens? When something blocks out the sunlight, what appears? Okay, so you're going to write on the line provided, the space provided, what happens when something blocks sunlight. Question 2 says, when we are indoors, what is needed to make a shadow appear? So when you are in your room, what is needed to make a shadow appear? Question 3 says, at what time of the day are shadows longer? And question 4, at what time of the day are shadows shorter? Okay, so it was a nice time with you today at class. Make sure you complete your exercises and see you next class. Keep safe. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.